Yo, it's official. Like a referee with a whistle. So like and share this episode. And today, man, we got to talk about Saquon Barkley, the running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl winning champion. Saquon seems like a nice guy, man. He seems like a nice guy. I have to admit. I've seen a lot of interviews of him over the past season. You know, he's with this woman with 2 kids, his fiancé. They're planning on getting married soon. But somebody sent me a link, and I guess his fiance had some nigga jokes back in the day, and I think this came from a lot of white people have weird personalities, so I don't really get the nigga jokes. I don't get any of the jokes, just period. But especially the nigga jokes, I don't get it, you know. So she got a couple nigga jokes. You know, she said something like, instead of saying nigga, she said cheetah. And she said, hey, my little gold digger. You know, I don't know what. She ain't messing with no broke niggas, you know. And then she went, and another tweet said, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke nigga. And then I thoroughly enjoy calling my mom nigger. You know, I don't. So I guess she was young. I guess a teenager when she tweeted this out. So people wanted to know what I think. Look, this is kind of common within the white community. This is not something that's happens every once in a while. White girls grow up like this. They're programmed. They hear this shit all the time. This is not something that you should be surprised at this point. It's 2025. I mean, if you're one of those people that think that this is something that just happens every once in a while when it comes to the nigga jokes, I got a bridge you can jump off of that I own back in Myrtle Beach, if that's what you think, if you're that naive. Now, you might say, why would somebody like Saquon end up with somebody like this? Well, there's a good chance that they went to college together, and that's how they met. That's how it usually go. They meet these girls in college, and they get hooked up. It's not like Saquon had to go out his way. I mean, the girls are right there. If you're the top athlete at any of these big universities, if you the man, if you that nigga, like they always say, well, shit, the girl's gonna be there. And I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know, because I used to hang around football players and basketball players when I went to college. The girls are everywhere. The girls are for the taking, if you know what I mean. So it's not like if you're an athlete, even if you're hanging around athletes, you don't have to go out of your way to do anything. The girls are there. If you want them, you can get them. It ain't that complicated. And I don't care if they white, black, Latin, Asian, it don't matter. If you go to any of these big universities, and if you're the top guy on the campus, the girls are there for the taking. If you want it, you can get it. You can have it. And some of them will even be bold enough and come out and tell you. You know, so that's how it is. Now, there's a good chance Saquon knew about this, the tweets. As a matter of fact, she's probably called him names in the house in private. More than likely, it's happened. You know, she probably came out and called him a nigga. You know, when she got pissed off about something. That's usually how it go. You know, because one thing I know, you know, I know a bunch of white women. I met a bunch of white. I went to school. Well, no, I didn't go to school with white women. Well, yes, I did. My second time, I went to school with white. Well, there was some white women in my class. The second time, I went to college, to university. I've been around white women long enough. I worked with them. I went to school with them. I was in the military with them. So I've been around white women long enough to know that they're programmed to be this way. And the programming doesn't go anywhere. It's not like when she get with Saquon Barkley, like she's gonna forget how she was raised and forget all the things that her parents taught her. No, it doesn't go anywhere. It's still there. You know what I'm saying? Now, can she work on her upbringing with all the racism that she's been taught? Yeah, she can go see a shrink. I know a white woman that she had to go see a psychologist because she said, man, I don't want to break up my family, because that's how strong the programming was for her. She had to go see a psychologist to kind of make some sense of why she feel the way she feel about her husband all of a sudden. But she said she got to a point where she felt like she didn't want to listen to him anymore for whatever reason. So she's like, no, I can't break up I don't want to destroy my marriage and leave my kids. So she's like, hey, I need some help. So you know, there's a lot of white women out here that you know, they sacrifice a lot to be with with a lot of brothers, because that program is strong, man. You know what I'm saying? But there's a good chance Saquon knew what type of girl she was. You know, he probably don't care, you know. And plus, he's from New York. And see, New York is a bubble. And when I say New York is a bubble, meaning that things happen in New York, the things that happen in New York doesn't happen anywhere else. So he grew up in New York, and I think they ended up moving to Pennsylvania. As he became a teenager, if I'm not mistaken, and that's how he ended up going to Penn State. But in New York, you know, they got the Caribbean thing going on in New York, where, you know, they look up to white people, they worship white people, and so that's where he's born, and most of his life he was raised. Now, being that he's from New York, more than likely he has an immigrant parent, and I think it's his mom. I think his dad is from down south someplace. But anyone that's born and raised in New York, 9 times out of 10 they have at least one immigrant parent. So that's where he came from. And they deal with white people different versus how I would. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong thing. It just depends on what type of person you are. You know, the way I deal with do things is maybe not the way you would deal with things. I don't see it as right or wrong thing. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the type of person, I don't do anything. I don't worship anybody. I don't look up to anybody. You know, I don't kiss nobody's ass. I don't do any of that stuff. You know, I don't put nobody on a pedestal. I don't do any of that stuff, you know. But they do. People from the Caribbean, they do. They worship. They have this thing called white worship in a lot of these other countries, in these Caribbean countries. They do, right? I don't. I disagree with that. So 9 times out of 10, his mom has that same mindset, right? His dad, probably not. But that's who raised him. You know, that's, we're fruits of our parents. It is what it is, right? So now, but a lot of people that's in New York, a lot of guys that's in New York, they kind of don't care about where the girl came from or who raised her, because they look at it like, and a lot of these guys are like that's from up north. They kind of look at it like, well, as long as I have a good relationship with her, that's all that really matters. As far as the family, they don't give a shit. See, I disagree with that. I disagree with that 1,000%. Where she came from, who raised her, and her family does matter. And you want to know why? Because my kids are going to be around your parents and probably your grandparents and probably your racist ass Uncle Buck. And see, I don't want that. So that's why that matters to me. But a lot of these guys that have these relationships with white women, or with white women, or with women that have anti-blackness throughout all their families growing up, they don't care. As long as they have a good relationship with the woman, that's all that counts. I disagree with that 1,000%. But that's just me. And you might be just like a lot of these other guys. You might say, hey, as long as we get along, that's all that counts. Because, I don't want to deal with no black woman or no woman that I was raised around. And that's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. But I'm telling you, how you were raised, how she was raised, it doesn't go anywhere. You don't forget about it. It's not like you're going to wake up one morning and be like, oh, just forget about everything that I was taught. No, you have to work. If you want to get better, you have to do something about it. You have to work on it. That's what it is. You have to work on. If you want to change, you got to do something different. It doesn't go anywhere. So I'm the type of person, if I know that you have some type of anti-blackness within your community, I'm going to fall back. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want to be around that. I don't want to be around nobody that come from that. Because I already know I can't fight that mentality. I already know at some point when you get upset or when certain people come around, you're going to revert back to that. Most people. Because most people are around people that are just like them. It's very seldom do you have a person that will get with somebody from another culture and just cut everybody off. That doesn't happen very often. Now there's some white women I know that have done that. They got with some dude and cut everybody off. They cut all their family off and start a whole new family. And that's okay if they want to do that. But that's not common. That's all I'm saying. That's the only way. In most cases, it could work, because what happens, and what I've seen over the years, is you have you have a girl like her that will get with somebody like Saquon, and they'll have a good run. They'll have kids, get married, they'll have a good run. It might last for 10, 20 years. But when that white woman gets older, that's when they end up getting a divorce. Or when the kids graduate, move out, that relationship is over. It usually ends. You know why? Because there's two reasons. Number one, white women, this is a big one. White women can't get past the fact that you're still black. They can't get past that. You can be the the coolest dude on the planet, coolest dude on the block. You liked by everybody, you know, salt of the earth, you know, giving, loving, caring, but she still can't get past the fact that you're black. That's the first reason. And the older she gets, she's gonna have a hard time being nice to you, because she came from a community where she was taught that she shouldn't be nice to you. That's just a reality. You don't have to like it. Hell, I don't like it. But that's where she came from. This is why I don't want to be around anybody that comes from that, because I already know that shit can go left at any given time. There's a chance that it could go left, and I don't want to risk it. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Now, could you have am I saying you can't have a successful relationship with a white woman or a woman that has that came from a family that practiced anti-blackness? No, I'm not saying you can't. You can have a good relationship with them. But just know that there's a highly probability that the relationship could go left based on her mindset and how she was raised. That's all I'm saying. But there's a good chance that Saquon, he already knew about this, about who she was and the tweets and all that shit, you know, because these guys, they get hooked up with these girls. A lot of these guys ain't got no swag, charm, and charisma. Yeah, they got some money and some status, but they ain't. For the NFL, these guys are very busy. They do 12, 14, 16-hour days. So they're not out and about trying to pick up on chicks like that. No, they're too busy trying to be great. It takes a lot to be a great football player. These guys get hooked up either in college or when they get to the NFL through somebody else. It's usually some guy will be like, hey dude, I got a girl for you, dude. She's a nice girl, dude. It's that type of guy that usually hooked them up with a girl. Some old weirdo white dude for the most part, you know, nerd. You know, that's the type of guy they usually they get hooked up by. And that's why, and that's partially the reason why a lot of relationships don't work. Because, hey, look who hooked them up. Some old weird old white dude or some old weird old white woman, you know, or hooked them up or whatever. Or it could be an agent too. You know, the person that represents him as far as negotiating his contracts, he'll have a Rolodex. Whatever he needs, whatever his client needs, he got. You need a date? Oh, I know somebody. You need a financial advisor? I know somebody for that too. You want to make some financial investments as far as real estate? Oh, I got somebody for that too. You know, these guys are it's like a monopoly. These guys are scam artists in the NFL. So, you know, whatever you need, there's a good chance his agent, sports agent, knows. So that's usually how this shit work in the NFL, man. And in college, when it comes to these athletes, they get hooked up. Everything is hooked up, which is partly the reason why a lot of them end up broke, because they get ripped off and scammed. They're on the football field trying to be great, and behind the scenes, somebody's ripping them off. You know, sad but true. So you tell me what you think. Like, share this episode, and don't forget to hit the Cash App on the way out. You know what I'm saying? So until next time, I'm out. Peace. Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight.
It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight, but then I saw the sky and that I like. Here from God.